Welcome back. Now, when pretending to be a big robot, you may have felt the urge to tear off another robot's mechanical arm and beat them with the wiry end. Well, something along those lines is possible in this upcoming game.
In the world of real-time strategy games, more has not always translated into better. Nonetheless, Psygnosis has discounted such advice for their compelling new title, Metal Fatigue. The game puts you in the driver's seat for one of three corporate nations, or corporations, who are vying for alien technology found on several worlds. While the game does have its structure building, resource gathering, and ground combat, it has more, like big customizable robots called combots. One of the more pleasant aspects of the game is that when you're hacking, shooting, and hammering other combots, their parts come off. You can then pick them up and fight with the new abilities. The transferable components allow you to customize your own combot, and the game seems balanced enough to prevent the dreaded optimum designs. The game has only two resources: metajoules gathered from sunlight and lava pools, and manpower, which is always available as long as you have new crew quarters and can thaw out your people as they are frozen during travel. The AI for the game is being designed by the legendary Mark Baldwin, and it looks to be good, if not better, than many of the top games in this genre. And the look of the game is something to see. So get ready to stay awake when Metal Fatigue is released this year.
Another nice feature of Metal Fatigue is a pre-build phase to start construction with your existing resources and have them ready before the scenario starts, something most real-time strategy fans will appreciate. But appreciation is pretty hard when it comes to this next game. You think after Code Veronica previews that anything undead is a winner. Think again.
Zombie Revenge is a near-perfect arcade port of the side-scrolling beat-em-up with a few exclusive home-only features. Does this make it more than a gussied-up arcade port? Not exactly. You play one of three characters who all perform roughly the same, with slight variations in their hand-to-hand combat. This translates to them all performing equally as bad as one another. The biggest problem is the control. Given that you are pitted against an unfair number of opponents, you'd like to move a little faster, even if they are the slouching undead. The Y button controls hand-to-hand combat and suffers from the worst canned animation possible, meaning that you're trapped watching the animation until you can pointer in the right direction. So why not run from battle? That would be good if the button to run wasn't the same as the block button. You can only run when you're in motion and press X, but if you time it wrong, you can end up standing still in a block. This would be easier to handle if the A button was even used. Zombie Revenge is also a painful exercise in repetition, with each zombie absorbing 10 to 15 shots that can't be fired all that fast. Yes, the game comes with an original mode filled with neat little gimmicks, but that just means it's a severely flawed game with a severely flawed extra mode. But the game looks pretty good. James Melky from Videogames.com gives it a 5.7 out of 10.
Game sequels have proven to be a mixed bag. Some improve upon the original, while others seem to cash in upon its former glory without appreciating what made them so good. And it's with that in mind that we throw Battlezone II on the grill.
Activision's Battlezone combined elements of real-time strategy and action to create a unique, intuitive, and fun hybrid. Unfortunately, sales were disappointing, and in what must have been an effort to make the sequel more marketable, developer Pandemic Studios attempted to fix something that wasn't broken. As a result, Battlezone 2 is a disappointing, dumbed-down version of its predecessor.
Roger that, Condor 5.
From the very beginning, it is clear that something isn't right. As you play, you are given conflicting orders and put in harm's way more than necessary. Then you're told to remain silent about your operations.
What was that thing?
That the campaign story is interesting enough to motivate you from mission to mission is a good thing, because Battlezone 2's missions themselves are often boring. Whereas Battlezone was entertaining precisely because of the sheer amount of control it put in your hands, Battlezone 2 is dull because it isn't as flexible. Early missions typically tell you what to do step by step and lack any of the base building and resource gathering that made the first game fun. Instead, you just follow your commander around and perform various small tasks and listen to reports of other more interesting activities as they occur elsewhere in the field. Ultimately, by trying to appeal to some mythical mass market, the designers have neutralized the fast pacing and complex mechanics that made the first game so fun. As a result, the game is completely generic. Ron Doolin at Gamespot.com gives Battlezone II Combat Commander a rating of 6.6 out of 10.
If you want more tank action, come to the Gamespot TV website where you'll find the streaming video of our Battlezone II review. And if you have a quick review of your favorite game or a handy cheat code, send me a V-mail. If we use your V-mail on the show, you'll get this snazzy Gamespot TV t-shirt.
Coming up on Gamespot TV, there's more gore galore as we look at the role-playing horror title from Square, Parasite Eve II. And still ahead, we have our definitive strategy guide for Quake fans. There won't be one player left unfragged if you can master these tips.